Okay, welcome to video 1 of Microsoft Excel Project 1. And the emphasis of this project is going to be to create a worksheet and then to create a chart. So these are the overall objectives for the project. We are going to describe what an Excel worksheet or spreadsheet looks like. We're going to enter some text and numbers. Use something called the sum button to add a range of cells. Enter a simple function or a formula. We're going to copy contents of one cell to a range of cells using something called the fill handle. We're going to do some formatting, so we're going to apply some cell styles. We're going to format cells. We're going to create a 3D pie chart. We're going to change the name of a worksheet and a sheet tab color. And as always, we're going to correct errors on a worksheet. So specifically for part 1 in this video, we are going to download the correct start file from our SAM account, save that file with the correct file name, and we'll talk about the layout of a spreadsheet, and then we're going to start just by entering some text. Okay, so here is my SAM home screen. So if you haven't already, you will need to log into your SAM account and get to your activity list. Okay, obviously mine looks different as a teacher screen than yours will, but we are looking for Excel 2016 Module 1. Okay, and this is called the textbook project. We're going to start that. And then this is the start file we're going to use. But I want to look, this is what the file has to be named in order to be uploaded to SAM later on. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is click and highlight the name of that file. Okay, all the way through the end to that XLSX. And I'm going to right click and copy that. Okay, so now we have the file name copied. Now I'm going to go over to our start file. Okay, when we click on that, it will download here to the bottom of your screen. We're going to open that. Okay, and once your spreadsheet opens, downloads and opens, you're going to have to click this Enable Editing button. Okay, and before we get into what the spreadsheet looks like, I think it's a good idea to save this right away. So we're going to first go to File, or not. Okay, so we were here, we went to File, and then we're going to do to Save As. Okay, just remember the first time you save something, you'll want to do a Save As. Okay, you will probably need to click Browse to navigate to your folder. So we should have created an Excel folder. Okay, you'll be going to your last name, okay, your class folder, semester 1, Excel, SAM Project 1. Okay, so navigate through to the correct folder. Okay, now down here, we don't want to hit Save yet. I'm going to highlight that whole file name, and I'm going to hit backspace to delete it. Now inside of here, I can right-click, and I'm going to paste. And now I have that file name that we copied from the SAM screen, pasted into the file name. Now I'm going to hit Save. Okay, so we have the correct file name, we have our spreadsheet, we're ready to go. Alright, so I know some of you probably have a little bit of experience with spreadsheets, but the overall layout is pretty simple. Okay, many of the same tools we were using in other programs show up here. Okay, we have different tabs, we have different groups. Okay, so depending on what we're going to be doing, the layout is basically the same that we were using in Word and that you see in PowerPoint and so on. Okay, but an overall spreadsheet is basically just a grid of numbered rows and lettered columns. Okay, so we have columns going across the top, and they're lettered, and we have rows going down the bottom or down the side, and those are numbered. All right, and each individual box is called a cell. Okay, and each cell has an address or a location, and that's based on the intersection of the column and the row. So you can see here I am at cell G11. Okay, and as you click around, you'll see the address change. Okay, so again, it's the intersection of the column and the row. All right, so that's really the basics of a spreadsheet, and you can do a lot with a spreadsheet, as we'll see as we move throughout the school year. But to start, we're just going to build a pretty simple spreadsheet and create a chart. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is click on cell A1. Okay, so when you're selecting a cell, you can always point and click. Okay, or you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move around. Okay, hitting enter moves you down, or tab moves you from left to right. So there's several different ways you can move around. Okay, so we're just going to select a cell by clicking once inside on the cell, and we're just to enter some basic text into the cell. So we're in cell A1, and we are going to type the words personal budget worksheet. And I hit enter, and you can see it took me down to the next line. So now I'm in cell A2, and I'm going to type monthly estimates, and I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm in cell A3, and I'm going to type the word income. Okay, so if you haven't already, probably a good time to pause the video and go type that text into cells A1, A2, and A3. Okay, so I should have explained that this personal budget worksheet, this is the title of our worksheet. It typically goes at the top. All right, we have kind of like a subtitle, if you will, of monthly estimates. And then we're going to make some column titles here, and income was the first one of those column titles. So next to income, so now I'm in cell B3. Okay, again, you can use your mouse to click the arrow keys or hit tab to go from left to right. All right, we're going to enter the months of the year here. So in cell B3, it's going to be January. Okay, hit tab, February. Oops. Make sure we're in the right cell. Should be hitting tab. We have March, April, May, June, July, August, spelled out, September, October, November, and December. And then in cell N3 is going to be the word total. Okay. For right now, don't worry that part of September and November and December get cut off. Okay, we'll worry about that later. Okay, so we're going to again enter the names of the months going across in row 3. Okay, so now that we have the income section set up of the budget worksheet, we're going to create one more row similar to this. So I'm going to come down to cell A8. Okay, and in cell A8, I'm going to type the word expenses. Okay, we're obviously comparing money coming in and money going out. Okay, so income and expenses. So I'm going to show you a little trick here that isn't really part of this yet, but we're going to use this fill handle that we're going to use quite a bit later on. But I'm going to show you a little trick here. So what we're going to do is have these months of the year again, but we don't have to type them out. Okay, so a little trick. If you just type January, okay, and hit enter or tab, and then go back and click one time on January, you'll notice this little highlighted dot in the bottom right-hand corner. That's called the fill handle. Okay, and it's basically used to copy or to fill to other places. So what I'm going to do is grab that. You see how your mouse cursor turns into a black cross. So I'm going to click and hold down. I'm going to drag to the right. And you can see it magically knows that I probably want to list the months of the year in order. And it did it for me when you let go. So December should line up with the December up here. Okay, and then again in cell N8, I want the word total. Okay, so go ahead and use the fill handle to put your months of the year out this time. Okay, so now that we have our column totals, I'm going to enter some row titles. Okay, so I'm going to be entering some text here. Okay, and just for the sake of the time of the video, you don't need to watch me type this. So I'm going to pause it, enter some text, come back, and then you can see where that text is. Okay, so as you can see, I've entered some more text here. So starting in cell A4, we have the word wages. Okay, then going down, A5 dividends, A6 total, okay, A9 rent, A10 food, A11 tuition, A12 books, A13 entertainment, A14 car payment, A15 gas, A16 miscellaneous, A17 total, and then skip a row. Don't forget to skip this. Nothing in cell A18, and then in cell A19 the word net. Okay, so as you're filling in, be very careful with spelling, okay, that we're not making any spelling errors or typing errors. Okay, so we need this spreadsheet to look exactly like this when you are done entering that text. And that will be the conclusion of the first video. Okay, in the next video, we're going to go ahead and populate this with some numbers and do some calculating.